What's up, guys? It is June 1st. Sorry we haven't been doing the videos lately. Been focusing a lot more on nerfies and was traveling for a bit, but we're back. Going to try to put you guys on some winners. Going to go over the day slate. Try to do it as quick as possible with giving you guys some information here. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you get the picks, the videos as soon as they drop. Been doing the shorts every day, but the long form videos, it's been almost a week, I think, since I did the last one. So trying to get one out for you guys here. For your Saturday before the game starts. So let's get into it. Don't want to waste you guys' time. Let's go. Good luck today. Bet responsibly. Let's get into it. Let's try to make some money today. Let's go. All right, this Jays Pirates game. The Blue Jays have owned this matchup, winning 9 of the last 10 meetings. Yesterday they played 14 innings, and Davis Schneider hit the walk-off home run in the bottom of the 14th to get the win. It should be Mitch Keller going here. Against Yusei Kikuchi. We've seen 8 of the last 10 meetings go under. This one has Nerfy written all over it again. As long as it's Mitch Keller, I'm seeing some places where the Pittsburgh starter is TBD. So I don't know why they would change him now, especially after they use so many of the guys in their bullpen, unless there's some sort of injury. So make sure it's Mitch Keller and Kikuchi. But Pirates hitting just 163 over the last 5 games versus left-handed pitchers, 215 over the last 10. I got to go with the Blue Jays in this one. Jordan Romano didn't pitch yesterday, something to do with his elbow, and Dalton Varsho was out of the lineup for the Blue Jays with food poisoning. So I think Varsho might be back because if it was just food poisoning, he's probably recovering. So he might be back today. Depends how he feels. So if he's in the lineup, I like the Blue Jays here. Don't like the price, but I think the Blue Jays probably get it done at home. I also lean to the Nerfy in this one. Yeah, so we're going Nerfy here in this game. The Blue Jays have hit 22 straight no-run first innings, themselves. But between these two teams, it's a good matchup. I think we see a sluggish game after them playing 14 innings yesterday. So I lean to the Jays money line, but the Nerfy is going to be the bet that I definitely bet here. I got to keep rolling on the cash cow. All right, going to Camden Yards. Baltimore takes on the Rays again here. We got Taj Bradley going for the Rays, and it should be Kyle Bradish, I'm hoping. Kyle Bradish has been pretty solid his last few starts, pretty much all of his starts, really. He's got 4 wins in his last 5, 11 strikeouts his last outing. It was versus the White Sox, but he pitched over 100 pitches in that game. This one, I trust the Orioles more. I can't get behind the Rays. They scored 1 run yesterday. It was early, and they couldn't get another one. They're only batting 181 versus right-handed pitching over the last 10 games. Orioles starting to get better, hitting 258. So I just trust the Orioles more. I trust their offense more. I just can't get behind the Rays right now. They had a good game to finish off the series at home versus the Athletics, but they were tight versus that whole series. They struggled to win that whole series. So I don't trust them against the juggernaut that is the Orioles. Give me the Orioles. All right, this Braves game, you're basically priced out of them. Braves are minus 300, minus 310, depending where you look, but it's a huge mismatch when it comes to pitching here. Aaron Brooks, 17.1 innings pitched this season, 3.63 ERA, 11.4% strikeout rate. Definitely not what you want to see as far as getting strikeouts. Chris Sale on the other side pitched 63 innings, just over 63 innings, has a 2.12 ERA, 0.85 whip, and a 31.6% strikeout rate. So it's Braves run line. I mean, it's the worst bet you can make. You're laying odds and you're not guaranteeing that 9th inning at bat. They just barely covered this yesterday. So I don't love this, honestly. You're priced out of it, like I said, but the Braves versus righty, Marcell Ozuna, 297 average this season with 13 home runs. Matt Olson, 5 home runs, batting 232 versus righties. So you could play a couple. I mean, obviously Acuna out definitely hurts this Braves team, but I just don't think I can get to the A's with this starter. If they had a better starter, I might look at it, but I just don't see them winning this game. I think the Braves can cover the run line. Don't love it, but you could potentially look at a Braves team total, but then you're going to same thing. Their offense hasn't been stellar since they lost Acuna. They're kind of all over the place. They have owned this matchup, winning 8 of the last 10 meetings. Usually score about 4 runs. They've scored 4 runs in 4 of the last 8 wins. Versus this team, they scored 3, they've scored 7, they've scored 10, and they've scored 13. So if they can get their offense going, I think they should easily cover this run line. Do I love it? Not a lot, because it's a huge number, but 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing into center. Looks like there might be some precipitation in the air. Personally, I think I would skip this game. Maybe bet a home run prop, but I don't love it. Like I said, I don't love the prices on this game. So it's Braves run line for me or pass. All right, the Marlins here again. Texas is short favorites here. Yesterday, when I seen Texas is minus 125 favorites, I instantly went and thought it was the Marlins was the pit play. Marlins ended up winning 8-2, which was kind of surprising. I didn't think they were going to win that big, but I thought they would potentially win. Now we're seeing pretty much the same prices. Michael Lorenzen, not a huge strikeout guy. I don't know. I don't really trust him a lot. He has been like somewhat so-so. He's got a 3.35 ERA, 4.34 expected ERA. He's got a 19% walk rate and a 12.5% or 19% strikeout rate and a 12.5% walk rate. So not what you want to see. The Rangers are only hitting like 164 over the last 10 games versus left-handed pitchers, averaging about 2 runs per 9 innings versus lefties. They have won 6 of the last 10 meetings, but I just don't really trust this Rangers team. They're below 500. They're a slight favorite. Just seems like it's another trap line like it was yesterday. So I lean to the Marlins here. I don't know. Maybe the Rangers. I'm seeing some places where it says TBD for Michael Lorenzen's spot. So maybe the Rangers go with a different pitcher. If they do, obviously pay attention to that and what the line moves does. But right now, I lean Marlins. I think Weathers is the better pitcher than Lorenzen. I think this game starts off slow, so I do lean to the Nerfy as well. Both teams struggle in the first inning, especially the Rangers versus lefties over the last couple weeks. They're hitting over the last month. The last 2 weeks, they've only had 7 plate appearances versus the lefty, but over the last month, they're batting just 226, no home runs, 7 strikeouts, and 37 plate appearances. So I kind of lean to the Nerfy. The Marlins kind of pretty much similar, so lean to the Nerfy and the Marlins. All right, going to Fenway here. We got a kind of a late afternoon game in Fenway. This is a tough one. I mean, a lot of these games on this Saturday card, there is some tough matchups for sure and some unbettable lines, but the Red Sox got the win yesterday. Red Sox have dealt with a lot of injuries. Now with Tyler O'Neill, one of their big hitters, he's out with a knee injury. Obviously, Masataka Yoshida been out, Tristan Cassis, Trevor Story, all of those guys out. So a huge part of their batting order, the guys that they really need for offense are gone. And then Kerry Carpenter's out for the Tigers, and Mark Canha is questionable. He was out yesterday. This one is a tough one. Reese Olson finally got his first win versus the Blue Jays last time out, and it was a 2-1 win. So he only had 4 strikeouts there. The strikeout numbers aren't huge. Whereas Cooper Criswell, he's not bad when it comes to getting strikeouts. He is coming off getting shelled his last outing, 4 innings, 6 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. His expected numbers are not bad. Reese Olson has a 1.92 ERA so far this season, which is really good. 3.26 expected ERA, so he's expected to regress a little bit. He is a pretty high ground ball pitcher, 54.4% ground ball rate, but he's also not giving up a lot of home runs. So, man, this is a tough one. I kind of lean the Red Sox still, though. I don't love it. I lean Red Sox just because they got a home field advantage, but Cooper Criswell with the bounce back. I also lean to the Nerfy. I think this one could start potentially slow as well. Just a lean right now, but 8 miles an hour, 8 to 10 mile an hour winds blowing in. Looks like in pretty much right in and across the plate. So that might help keep some balls in the park early. Like I said, Reese Olson not giving up home runs. So I think I could go with the Nerfy in this one as well. All right, going to Progressive Field where the Guardians host the Nationals for Game 2 of this series. Mitchell Parker, the lefty, going. He's given up home runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. His strikeout numbers haven't been terrible, but about a strikeout per inning or so. But he's got a 3.45 ERA, 21.5% strikeout rate, 47.3% ground ball pitcher. So a little bit above average. Whereas Ben Lively, 2.80 ERA on the season, 23.8% strikeout rate, and only a 31.5% ground ball rate. So he's pretty evenly ground ball to fly ball guys. So the wind is blowing out here. It's kind of out to left, 5 to 6 miles an hour, 80-ish degree temperatures. So should be a nice afternoon in Cleveland. The thing with me here is there's a couple lefty killers on this Guardians lineup, specifically David Fry. He's been absolutely crushing lefties, batting .413, 5 home runs, a 1.414 OPS. Obviously, Jose Ramirez, 324 average with 5 home runs as well versus lefties. They just got Stephen Kwan back yesterday. He's also batting .425 this season with 1 home run versus left-handed pitching. The Nationals, Jesse Winker, Nick Senzel, Eddie Rosario, CJ Abrams, not bad guys versus righties. So I think we could see some home runs in this one. Kind of lean to the over. The Nationals bullpen over the last 2 weeks, 4.95 ERA, whereas the Guardians 2.90. So I'm going to go with the Guardians on the money line in this one. Nationals have been a good team to bet at times. I think the Guardians are just a much better team. They have the better bullpen, and we've seen them crush the Nationals yesterday. I think it was 7-1 finish. David Fry hit a 3-run home run there in the 7th inning, I think it was. Either way, I'm going with the Guardians. I think Jose Ramirez could hit a home run in this game. Maybe David Fry even gets another one. He's been, like I said, one of their hottest hitters, especially versus lefties. So give me the Guardians, the home team on the money. All right, going to Citi Field. Oh, man, I don't really – these two teams that are just kind of in shambles. Yesterday was crazy. We've seen that game go back and forth. I mean, the Mets took the lead, ended up finishing 10-9. I don't really trust either one of these bullpens right now. Don't trust either offenses, really. You're seeing the Mets as favorites in this game. It's supposed to be Slade Ciccone, I think, now. It was supposed to be Blake Walston, but it looks like Slade Ciccone might be getting the start. He's got a 6.12 ERA on the season. Only a 16.8% strikeout rate. Sean Manaea, 3.12 ERA, 21.7% strikeout rate. The D-backs struggling versus lefties recently, whereas they started off the season crushing left-handed pitching. Now, over the last 10 games, they're batting just below 200 average, not putting up a lot of runs, whereas the Mets are starting to hit lefties better, but now they face a righty on this one, so Walston was a lefty, so I don't know. The Mets have won 9 of the last 10 meetings, though. I will say that. They have owned this matchup. I don't know. The D-backs 12-17 road record. You're getting plus money with the D-backs, but I don't know. This is an ugly game. I lean to the Mets. I don't love it, man. Like I said, this Saturday card is pretty tough, but I kind of lean to the Mets. Maybe they have some momentum now. Alonso was back after missing that one game, the previous game, getting hit with the ball in the hand. So he is back. He started to get some offense going. He's still not crushing home runs yet, but hopefully he starts heating up because it would be nice to him to see him to hit a home run. But other than that, man, I don't really got anything. You could look at Francisco Lindor. The wind is blowing out 8 to 10 miles an hour out to right center. So you could look at guys like Francisco Lindor potentially to hit a home run. He's been one of their hotter hitters lately. So I would look at a guy like that. Pete Alonso has 9 home runs, batting .244. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, Lindor has 7, batting .225. So maybe a Lindor home run, but I lean to the Mets. I honestly. All right, the Royals and the Padres yesterday. Luis Arias again went perfect. He's been absolutely crushing it since the Padres acquired him. Definitely a good guy to have at the top of the lineup. Doesn't strike out a lot, especially versus righties. He's gets on base. He's not going to be a power hitter for home runs and stuff like that for very often. He doesn't usually hit a lot of home runs, but he gets on base. He gets RBIs. He makes contact with the ball, so that's what you want. The Padres are pretty decent versus righties. A lot of guys can hit righties, obviously. Luis Arias, 380 average, 2.7% strikeout rate versus righties. So Joe Musgrove going here versus Alec Marsh. Musgrove started the season off pretty bad. His last couple starts, though, have been one-run starts, I think, both of them. His strikeout numbers are a little bit lower than normal. He did have 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, but that was versus the Reds. That was back in about a month ago. His last start versus the Yankees, 5 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings, only 1 earned run, no home runs given up in the 5-2 Padres win. Alec Marsh on the other side, he's kind of been slipping lately. He gave up 2 home runs, 5 earned runs in 7 innings. And versus the Twins last game out, 3 earned runs in 6 innings, the previous one to the Tigers. These two teams, 5-5 their last 10 meetings. 7 of the last 10 have gone over. I do kind of lean to the over in this one at 8.5. I think we see some offense again. Both these teams don't strike out a ton. They make contact with the ball. I think we can potentially see some more runs, even if it's not a lot of home runs. But guys like Bobby Witt hitting 325 versus righties. He does have 7 home runs and 36 RBIs. Salvador Perez, 323 versus righties with 8 home runs and 33 RBIs. And then you got a lot of other guys with good averages. Pasquantino, Garcia, Freddie Fermin, all hitting the ball pretty well. Kyle Isbell, not bad numbers. MJ Melendez, not the greatest average, but he does still have 5 home runs and 11 RBIs. And then Nelson Velasquez hit a home run, I think, yesterday. 7 home runs, batting .214 versus righties. So lots of good numbers for offense on these guys. Tatis, 8 home runs, batting .270. Pretty sure he hit a double yesterday. So it wouldn't surprise me to see some more runs in this game. So give me the over here. If I was going to take a side, oh man, it's a tough one. I kind of think the Royals could potentially bounce back, but let's see. Padres 2.11 ERA over the last 2 weeks in the bullpen, whereas the Royals 4.19 ERA the last 2 weeks. I kind of lean to the Padres in this one, but I don't know. I don't love it. I think the over is potentially in play. All right, the Astros taking on the Twins. I seen a lot of people yesterday on the Astros. I get it. Sometimes you can catch the Astros in a good spot. Honestly, don't really like backing the Astros this season. They still haven't gotten up over 50-50. They're 25-33 on the season, 14-16 at home. The Twins 32-25 on the season, 16-12 on the road. So these two teams, 5-5 the last 10, 6 of the last 10 meetings have gone over. Joe Ryan has been pretty good his last couple starts. 15 strikeouts in 14 innings, only 1 earned run, no home runs given up. He had 9 strikeouts versus the Royals last time out with only 1 earned run. So limiting hits. He does get a tough matchup, obviously, versus an Astros team that doesn't usually strike out a huge amount. Framber Valdez, though, has been pretty bad. His last couple starts, he gave up friggin' 5 innings pitched. He gave up 3 home runs and 8 earned runs total on 10 hits to the Angels at home back on May 20th. And then his last outing, he had 3 earned runs in 6 innings, still got the loss there. So honestly, Twins for me are pass. Over the last 10 games, both these teams hitting about .250 versus opposing lefty and right-handed pitching versus the opposing pitcher. The Minnesota Twins, let's see. Twins bullpen 3.86 ERA over the last 2 weeks. Astros 1.43. So the Astros bullpen has been better, but I just don't trust Framber Valdez. So it's Twins for me at plus money or pass. They won yesterday 6-1. I could see them winning this game. Maybe not. I don't know. Honestly, it's Framber Valdez, so maybe they give up a bunch too again. But I'm not really backing the Astros, laying juice with them right now. So give me the Twins here. All right, the final game of the 4:10 Eastern slot, 2:10 my time. Brewers, White Sox. Robert Gasser, Garrett Crochet going. We're seeing a 7.5 total here. 2 lefties on the mound. Yesterday there was like 17 runs scored. First of all, I'm going to say right off the bat, I have to go with the Nerfy in this one. I think this game starts off slow. I think both these pitchers can get 3 quick outs without giving up a run. When you look at, let's see, Garrett Crochet, he's 11-1 overall this season to the no-run first inning. Robert Gasser, 4-0. So Crochet's 4-1 on the road, Nerfy record. I think this is a pretty good one. The White Sox 22-5 on the road to the no-run first inning, 9-1 in their last 10. Brewers 18-8 at home, but eight of their last 10 have went no-run first inning. Yesterday took the no-run first inning with this team, just barely got out of it. Fedde he had the bases loaded with one out. He was able to get out of it with a strikeout. And I think he might have struck out the second guy after that too. But as far as the side goes, I can't really see the White Sox. I just can't get to the White Sox. I like the price with them, but they're 5-21 on the road. They're just a bad team. Their offense is pretty bad. They did put up 5 runs yesterday, which is kind of surprising, but they've gotten owned in this matchup. The Brewers have won 8 of the last 10 meetings. Robert Gasser has been solid. I think we see some strikeouts in this game, though. Crochet, 11 strikeouts his last outing in 6 innings. He did give up a home run, but it was to the Orioles. But 11 strikeouts versus an Orioles team that generally crushes lefties. It's pretty good. He's had 11 strikeouts in two times in his last 5 outings. So I think he could potentially get some strikeouts again here. Robert Gasser on the other side, 7 strikeouts in 6 innings his last outing as well. His pitch count doesn't get as super high. That's the only thing, but I trust the Brewers lineup way more than I do the White Sox. So I think the Brewers win this one again. Maybe it's a little bit slower game for the first couple innings, but Brewers bullpen over the last 2 weeks, 3.38 ERA. White Sox, 4.43. So, I mean, I'm going with the Nerfy, but if I had to pick a side, it would be. All right, we got a National League matchup here. Phillies hosting the Cardinals. Phillies got the win yesterday, 4-2. You're seeing the Phillies around minus 140-ish. They have won 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Usually lower scoring games. We're seeing 7 of the last 10 have been under. Sonny Gray, pretty solid pitchers. He has a couple starts where he's been roughed up a little bit, but for the most part, he's been pretty solid this whole season. And Ranger Suarez has been pretty much unstoppable. I mean, his last start in Colorado, he did get the loss. I think it was his first loss of the season. He still pitched 100 pitches, gave up a home run, 4 earned runs in 6 innings. That was his worst start of the season. He still had 9 strikeouts there. So right on the season, he's got a 1.75 ERA in 72 innings pitched, 0.82 WHIP. Sonny Gray, 52 innings pitched with a 2.60 ERA, 1.00 WHIP. Both high strikeout pitchers. Honestly, I think this is another Nerfy situation here. You look at these teams in the last 10 games, Phillies hitting 228, Cardinals hitting 235. Cardinals were struggling terribly versus lefties for a good chunk. They've started to hit lefties a little bit better. I just don't know if the Cardinals have enough to maybe Ranger Suarez starts to regress here, but his expected numbers are actually like really good. Just like 2.44 expected ERA, which is crazy. Sonny Gray has a 3.00 expected ERA. So both these pitchers pitching pretty much just below expected, but like in really good numbers. When you look at Ranger Suarez, he's got a 55.4% ground ball rate, 0.6 home runs per 9. Sonny Gray, 1.0 home runs per 9. So both are limiting hard hit, limiting contact, don't have high barrel rates. Obviously, the Phillies have lots of guys that can mash. That we know, but it wouldn't shock me to see another potentially lower scoring game here. I think I still got to lean to the Phillies. I trust them a little bit more. When you look at a lot of these guys versus lefties on the Cardinals side, not a lot of home run hitting, some all right averages, but honestly not the greatest as far as numbers go. And we know the Phillies, lots of guys can hit righties. Bryce Harper, 10 home runs, batting 275. Brandon Marsh, 6 home runs, batting 298. Schwarber's got 6 home runs. His average is pretty low, but Real Muto, 4 home runs, batting 240. So there's lots of good guys here on the Phillies side. So I lean to the Phillies here. I'm also going Nerfy in this game. All right, Wrigley Field looks like there might be a storm coming in. around first pitch. So this game might get delayed. It might be an issue with some rain. Might trickle off a little bit. So there might be a delayed start here. The wind is blowing in about 9 to 10 miles an hour. We got Hunter Green going, and then Justin Steele, the lefty, going for the Cubs. Reds hitting just 188 over the last 10 games versus lefties. Cubs hitting 230. The Reds did get the win yesterday. Pretty sure the Cubs had the lead and blew it, but we're seeing a really low total here, 7.5 at some places. But these two teams head to head, 5-5 in the last 10 meetings. 6 of the last 10 have gone over, but I think that I gotta go with the Cubs in this game. I don't really love Justin Steele though. I just don't really like how the Reds are hitting lefties. Honestly, this is another one that is tough for me. The Reds have the much better bullpen lately, 1.74 ERA over the last 2 weeks. Cubs 5.77 ERA over the last 2 weeks. Man, this one sucks. I gotta go with the Nerfy in this one. The wind blowing in and Wrigley is huge. Two teams that are struggling offensively. I don't know, man. Aside though, taking a side here and this one, I mean, I like the number with the Reds. Just I don't know. If they get to Justin Steele in this bullpen, they should be all right. I'm looking at guys like Tyler Stevenson, 3 home runs batting 256 versus lefties. Stuart Fairchild, 311 average of 3 home runs. Not a huge amount of slugging guys. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Ellie De La Cruz has kind of been struggling, striking out a lot. I don't know, man. I can't get to a side on either one of these right now. It kind of lean to the Cubs right now. I don't love the number, and I don't love the idea of the potential of a delay and the Cubs bullpen. So I wouldn't blame you. You could probably talk me off of taking the Reds pretty easily in this one. So not my favorite, but I'm going with the Nerf. All right, going to T-Mobile, Mariners, Angels. Yesterday, the Mariners went a 3-0 lead early in the first inning, and then just barely got the win. They won 5-4. They have won 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Mariners are 18-11 at home. You're seeing the Mariners as big favorites in this one. I mean, they do have the advantage, I think, when it comes to pitching here. I think their lineup is a little bit better when it comes to versus lefties or righties. Angels hitting lefties much better, but they face a righty in Bryce Miller. So both these pitchers have kind of struggled lately as far as giving up runs. Bryce Miller gave up 3 home runs in one start. Was to the Yankees, though. So, I mean, Yankees obviously can mash. He's faced some hard teams, the Orioles, the Yankees, and the Astros, his last 3. So he has had some tougher outings. Detmers, he's got 8 strikeouts in 5 innings his last time out versus the Guardians. Gave up 3 earned runs. He hasn't been really getting wins. He's been in a lot of higher scoring games, giving up multiple home runs in 3 of his last 5 starts. So I lean to the Mariners in this one. Not my favorite game because of the price, but both these teams are hitting about 200 versus the opposing pitcher. 206 versus lefties for the Mariners over the last 10. 203 versus righties for the Angels over the last 10 games. So honestly, don't really like either one of these, but I think the Mariners have the advantage at home here. Slight pitching advantage as well. Mariners 4.00 ERA over the last 2 weeks out of their bullpen. Angels are looking at 3.27, so pretty similar, honestly. But I think the Mariners just have the advantage. Joe Adell did hit a home run again yesterday. He's a guy I've been looking at for pretty much versus righties or lefties. Joe Adell. Taylor Ward hasn't been terrible. And then Kevin Pillar versus a lefty. Obviously, it's not a lefty in this one. It's a righty. So potentially Joe Adell again. If you're looking at the Mariners side versus a lefty, let's see what guy is the best versus lefties for so far. Kyle Riley has 5 home runs, but his average is pretty bad. Ty France, 3 home runs, batting 275 versus lefties this season. He does have a home run versus Detmers in 13 at-bats. Dylan Moore has a home run in 6 at-bats. He also was batting 250 with 2 home runs versus lefties this season too. Then Julio Rodriguez, 328 average, 2 home runs only, but his average is good versus lefties. He does have a home run versus Reed Detmers as well. So a couple guys I would look at there if you're looking at Mariners guys for home runs, but I lean to the Mariners as far as taking a side. Don't love the number, minus 175. I wouldn't be betting it straight up. It'd probably have to be a parlay piece, but think they can probably get it done here. All right, this one kind of seems like a trap, but it is due to the starting pitching. It was supposed to be Clark Schmidt. He's out with an injury now. I can't remember what the injury is. I think it's some sort of lower body injury. I don't know. He's supposed to be out for like a couple more weeks or something. But so now you got this Cody Poteet guy going. I think he's only made one start this season back in April. He had 4 strikeouts in 6 innings, gave up a home run. Whereas Logan Webb, pretty heavy ground ball pitcher, 56 or 57% ground ball rate. 8 strikeouts his last outing versus the Mets in 7 innings, no earned runs given up. So there's a reason why you're seeing the Giants favored here. They do have the better starting pitcher option. Their bullpen actually hasn't been terrible over the last 2 weeks either. 2.87 ERA, 25.2% strikeout rate, whereas the Yankees bullpen has kind of regressed a little bit. Let's see there. I think it's over 4.50 ERA over the last 2 weeks. They had one of the best bullpens. They still do have a pretty solid bullpen. They've owned this matchup, winning 8 of the last 10 meetings. They're underdogs in this one. Aaron Judge just hit 2 home runs yesterday. I don't know. It's hard to go against the Yankees right now. Both these teams hitting about 250 versus right-handed pitching over the last 10 games. Man, this one's tough for me. I think the Yankees is the way to go, but it does kind of seem like a trap. I don't know what to expect from this young pitcher, Cody Poteet. He does have a 1.50 ERA overall, but still only a 17.4% strikeout rate, 36.8% ground ball rate. Just not the greatest of numbers. So if the Giants get to him early, they could be in trouble. Stanton has 12 home runs, batting .232. Soto, 13 home runs, batting .310 versus righties. Now Judge leads the team with 16 home runs, batting .291. So I wouldn't be surprised if Judge potentially hits another one. Like I said, Aaron Judge does have a home run in 3 at-bats versus Logan Webb. Like I said, Webb is a more heavier ground ball pitcher, but I think I got to go with the Yankees. I don't love the idea that they're plus money right now, and this starting pitching matchup. Do think it's kind of a trap line. I think a lot of the public will see the Yankees at plus money and they'll instantly jump on it. So this might be a trap, just getting the Giants. Honestly, the Giants might be the way to go, but like I said, this Saturday is really tough. A lot of these games are tough to call. I could see a lot of these games going. It's hard to pick a side on a lot of these games, so I kind of lean to the Yankees. I don't love it. Maybe Aaron Judge goes yard again. He's absolutely on fire, and you're getting a good number with him just because it is more of a pitcher's park here and San Francisco. So, yeah, I lean to the Yankees. Maybe an over in this game, but 5-5 the last 10 meetings to the over and under. So 6-2 yesterday. If you had the over at 7.5, you just got there. But yeah, I don't know. Tough game, like I said. All right, last baseball game of the night, going to Dodger Stadium. We got 8 to 10 mile an hour winds blowing straight out to center by the time of the first pitch. It looks like on this one, low 60, mid to low 60 temperatures. I'm seeing totals at 7.5 at some places, so I kind of lean to the over at 7.5. The Dodgers minus 350 favorites after losing 4-1 yesterday. Crazy. No way I'm playing anything to do with that. You'd have to lay like minus 3.5 runs to get plus money on them. And honestly, their offense looked absolutely dead yesterday. They did, win 3 games in a row, swept the Mets. That last game, they were neck and neck, and then they opened it up in, I think, the 7th or 8th inning where they scored 7 runs or whatever in the last 2 innings. But these two teams head-to-head, Dodgers have won 7 of the last 10 meetings, but the Rockies have been a good team to get at plus money. Yamamoto has kind of been all right. His strikeout numbers haven't been bad. He's had 16 strikeouts in his last 11 in the 3rd innings, 6 earned runs given up, no home runs in those last 2 starts, 13 hits. Cal Quantrill, he gave up a home run, 4 earned runs in his last 12 innings. So his last 2 starts, 2 earned runs on both of them. One of those was to the Phillies too, so not bad. He does face a tough lineup here. The Dodgers are only hitting 236 versus righties over the last 10 days. Rockies hitting 242. Dodgers bullpen 3.82 ERA over the last 2 weeks. The Rockies 7.89 ERA in their bullpen. That's one thing I've said. The Rockies bullpen I do not trust. I think I got to go with the over in this game. Saturday night, Dodgers got embarrassed yesterday. The only run they scored was off of, I think it was Mookie Betts hit a ground ball and it ended up, it was a force out, but it ended up scoring a run. Like it was just, yeah, it was nothing. We didn't see, I was expecting to see some home runs in that game. Didn't see any home runs really. I think maybe the Rockies hit one. I can't remember who it was, but I think the over's in play here. I don't really love the side of it. If I had to bet one, it would be the Rockies, just because of the number. Don't love taking the Dodgers, a very very public team that's been kind of so lately at huge negative price. They've only won in 4 of their last 10 games, and they're minus 340, whereas the Rockies have won 6 of the last 10 games. You're getting them at plus 280. They've covered the plus 1.5 in 8 of their last 10 games. So you could get plus money at Rockies plus 1.5. I know their bullpen is very scary. I do not trust their bullpen a lot. One guy I would look at, Ryan McMahon, 6 home runs, batting 255. Ezekiel Tovar yesterday, I think he was the one that hit the home run. 302 average with 5 home runs. So he's crushing righties pretty well. So those 2 guys, Brenton Doyle, not bad. 5 home runs, batting 280. Elias Diaz, 3 home runs, batting 286. El Harris Montero, 3 home runs, batting 237. So this will be the first time they're facing Yamamoto. That's the only downside. Whereas the Dodgers somewhat know Cal Quantrill a little bit. None of the Dodgers have hit home runs versus Cal Quantrill. I will say that. And Mookie Betts has kind of been slowed down a little bit as far as his home run hitting, but Will Smith has been solid. Shohei Ohtani has 11 home runs, batting 345. So wouldn't shock me to see Ohtani, maybe Will Smith hit home runs in this game. He's got 5 home runs, batting 246. He likes to hit lefties too, so I usually like taking Smith versus a lefty. But Freddie Freeman, 6 home runs, batting 324 versus righties. I don't know if I said it. Mookie Betts, 7 home runs, batting 322 with a 9.4% strikeout rate. So maybe Mookie gets back on track here. I think I'm just going to go with the over and hope for some runs. Hope even if it comes from the Dodgers side, hopefully they put up at least 6 and the Rockies can get 2 off Yamamoto or the bullpen. So I'm hoping for at least a 6-2 game here, but would be nice just to see like an absolute unleashing as far as home run hitting on both sides. We have seen 6 of the last 10 meetings between these teams go under, but we've seen some high totals. Some of those were at Coors Field. Some of those were, 8-2, 8-3 type games. So those were high totals. But we've seen the Dodgers put up 11 and 14 runs in these, 11-2, 14-3 type games. So hoping for a higher scoring game in this one for the entertainment value. Last game of the night, same game parlay would probably have with some home run hitters in there. So going to be probably betting that. So I'm hoping for the over. I just can't get to laying a huge price with the Dodgers here. I mean, I don't blame you if you want to try it. I just don't love it with how way they've been playing lately. All right, game 6 of this Florida Panthers New York Rangers series. It is in Florida, which is what it is. The Panthers did just win that last game in New York. The Rangers are big dogs here. A lot of people saying that the Panthers probably close it out. I think that the last game was a 3-2 overtime win. So I mean, I think the Rangers plus 1.5 would be a safety bet kind of thing. It wouldn't surprise me to see a 1-goal game. Maybe this game goes to overtime again. I kind of do think the Panthers can close it out at home, but I don't know. I like the number with the Rangers in a do or die game. I watched that last game and it's so boring watching these two teams play, honestly. Like compared to the Dallas and Edmonton games. It's just not as intense to me, but I don't know. The Rangers plus 1.5, I think, is a safe bet. I like the money. I like the price on the Rangers, but it wouldn't shock me to see the Panthers close it out at home either. So another tough game, but I think, like I said, I think it's a safe bet to take the Rangers plus the 1.5. We're seeing a total at 5.5 here. Yeah, it's one of those ones where this game could go either way again. Like I've said for the whole MLB slate, this game could go either way. When you look at, let's go to the computer model for this one. It leans to the Rangers. 3-2 score is what it shows. Leans to the Rangers. It likes the Rangers plus 1.5 as well. So I think the Panthers probably could win this game, but if they win, it wouldn't surprise me to see it a 1-goal game. So I lean to the plus 1.5 with the Rangers. It's a bad bet, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. This one could go either way. Maybe sprinkle the game to go to overtime because it could be tight, and we could see another overtime between these two. So maybe it goes to OT. All right, that's all I got for you guys. If I was going to put a parlay in, I know this video has gone long. I'm sorry. It always seems to happen because I rant on about so much. But if I was going to put a parlay in, it's probably going to be taking like 4 or 5 favorites together. Maybe like the Orioles, Brewers, Braves, Guardians, and Mariners. So those 5 favorites. You get about plus 800 on that as far as a 5-team parlay. That would probably be my parlay if I was going to play it today. Like I said, there's a lot of games I think could go either way. So kind of going light as far as trying to hit any crazy plays. I have said, like, I have been focusing a lot more on Nerfies. They're just the best bet. You either win or lose within like 15 to 20 minutes. I've been building up quite a bit of big bankroll using multiple sports books, trying just to build up the profits, get ready for football season. So honestly, they've been my more popular bet again. I stayed away from them last year a lot because of like the rule changes and the pitch clock and stuff when they implemented everything. So it kind of changed the game. But now that we've kind of settled in and we got some more data, it's been a little bit better. May was a really good month for Nerfies, actually. The whole season overall, I think about 60 or 62% of games went no run first inning. So you're up good money if you bet every single Nerfie in May. But obviously, I don't do that. But we've seen, I think, like 11 of the 15 games yesterday went no run first inning. A couple of them I gave out, but I only actually ended up betting one game yesterday, which was the Pirates and the Blue Jays, and then I ended up playing the Oilers, and that was it. So I only bet those 2 yesterday. But yeah, Orioles, Brewers, Braves, Guardians, Mariners. That might be a money line parlay you could put in. You maybe could add the Rangers plus 1.5 to that if you wanted to. But yeah, other than that, plus 800 for that parlay. That's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to like the video if you got some value. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Turn notifications on so you do get the videos as soon as they're dropped. Trying to get this to you guys before the games start. Obviously, give you time to watch it. It's going to be tight, but try to get it out, like I said. Thanks for watching. If you guys made it this far, if you didn't, whatever. I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a good one, and bet responsibly, play responsibly. Don't bet for money that you can't afford to lose, all that stuff. So play responsibly. Hopefully you guys can win some money. Use this information to help you in Saturday, and good luck, and let's cash some tickets, y'all. Peace.